one of the things that we collapse as creatives is our creativity and our identity. What do I mean? I'm a writer. And when I say I'm a writer, there are two ways you can look at it. You can say writing is my identity, being a writer is my identity, or writing is something that I do. And this was when I was in my early 20s, so very formative stage in terms of getting to a point of knowing who I am. And I used to always say, writing is not something I do, it's who I am. And many of us have that, music is in my blood, art is it's an extension of me. And
that's the hill we choose to die on.
Yes, and we take our art or our expression and we make it who we are. And the Holy Spirit came into that conversation I was having in my mind about writing and my identity. And he said, hold on, writing is what you do. It's not who you are. If you never wrote another day in your life, you would still be you.
Wow.
Mind you, writing has, out of everything that I do as a human being, aside from things like family and such like things, professionally, outside of everything I do professionally, writing probably has the closest place in my heart. And that's why I'd even say writing is who I am. What am I driving at? The reason we take feedback as an attack is because we've collapsed it with our identity. And I saw this a lot in the marketplace. I was in an industry that is full of creatives. And I would see it with people who've been in the industry for 20 years, 30 years. They still take things personally. And God said to help me understand it is because they never separated their identity from their craft. Who you are is a son of God.
Very important.
If you got amnesia tomorrow, God forbid, and you forgot how to do everything you do as a creative, you are still you. It's what you do. It's not who you are. Why it's important for us to make that distinction. If you make your craft who you are, it becomes your idol. And that's why many of us, if we are to be very sincere, we idolize our gifts. That's why we don't want anyone to touch it. Hey, you're messing with my idol. You don't have a right to comment on my idol. So in our minds, what we're actually saying is gifts. What we're saying literally, verbally, is don't mess with my gift, don't mess with my creativity, don't mess with my art. What we're actually saying is don't mess with my idol. That's what our hearts are saying. So we have to be very, very careful where we place that line between our craft and our identity. Your craft is what you do. Is it important? Yes, absolutely. Is it a very pivotal part of your life? Completely. Here's the thing, if I never wrote again, I would miss it. I had to come to a point where I was willing to lay my writing down for a season. And I laid it down not knowing if God would allow me to pick it back up. And one of the things I had to contend with is, if God does not allow me to continue writing, then who am I? If you take this out of the equation, then what am I left with? And that's something that is very necessary for all of us as creatives. Because what that does, it takes away this pressure and this life and death situations we've created in our minds about our creativity and our art. So when someone posts something online about your work, or they say something to you directly, or you hear someone that said something, it doesn't land the same way when you know this is something I do. Similarly, we all have off days. When you make your creativity your identity, it means when you're having an off day and your work is not as good, what you're essentially believing is that I am not good today. I am not a good human today. It's a very dangerous place to be as a person. And is it a wonder that as creatives, we suffer from the kind of mental and emotional health problems we do? Because we've integrated our craft and our identity, even more so than most of the other professions. But if you know that writing is what, or your craft is what you do, not who you are, then even when I have a day when my writing is not so good, I am still a whole human. I am still valuable. I am still worthy of love. I just had an off day. Tomorrow will be better. My writing will be better. We'll fix what needs to be fixed and life will go on. I can take a step back and go out for a walk and be okay. And so there is that distinction that we need to make as creatives, as people, especially in this case, as believers in this case. Your craft is a gift from God. It is not who you are. It's not your identity.